There's something called the spirit of the law as well, not just the law.
And why this same procedure wasn't followed when it had something to do with Ukraine and Russia? You have like this long procedure, autumn, winter, more people killed, more money invested in companies that are killing children, that killed 250 babies, children, girls in Iran last week. And when it was for Ukraine and Russia, why? Because they're white?
Yeah.
Is it because they're white? Look at you. You're all white.
We have finished this.
Look at you. You are white. You finished. We're not finished. We'll never be finished. We're human. We finish when we're dead. But humanity definitely finished ages ago.
Well said.
Yeah, well said.
Hi, my name's Joe Salmon. I'm one of the councillors on Dorset Pension Fund, and I'm here today to take part in our committee meeting. There is a lot of concern about the fund holding any investments in controversial weapons of war, investing money in the occupied territories, and it's really important that myself and other committee members realise this isn't just about the moral duty, it is about the fiduciary duty we have to the pension scheme's members. We shouldn't be investing money in such risky, unsafe things as landmines in the occupied territories. And so I'm really hoping the rest of the committee will listen to the deputation today.
This council should be divesting all its investments in companies that are complicit in genocide and Israel's warmongering. 30 months of unrelenting slaughter and horror. The F-15s that are armed with parts supplied from Lockheed Martin and other British firms that fly from the Nev-Tarim air base out over Gaza, targeting hospitals, schools, shelters and civilian centres. And now are flying over Iran and the Lebanon. The complicity, no, participation of the US, Britain and the US allies in Israel's assault on Gaza is part of an attempt to reorder the Middle East. The fact that this council, other councils, our government has been complicit and has participated in the assault on Palestine has now led to war on Iran and war in Lebanon and God knows what else to come. So it is absolutely vital that we send that message. And I think let's not forget that this war on Iran is unpopular. It does not have the support. So we can make the links and rack up this campaign for divestment from genocide by Dorset Council and its pension fund.
We're standing here together for something very, very simple. Something that shouldn't be controversial. Children being killed. Not in the past, not in the history, but being killed now. And those kids are gonna be killed again in the future if we don't do anything about it. We're standing here connecting this council as well as other councils to the killing of these children because they invest in these companies that actually support and fund the weapons. A school had been bombed last week. Over 250 angels went to the sky. They don't belong to the sky. They belong to their school. They belong to their families. They belong to their mothers. But they were killed. And our councillors are still investing in these companies. All what we're asking is to align our investment with our values. We cannot talk about humanity. We cannot talk about honesty. We cannot claim to be good people if we cannot align our investments with our values. There is no dignity in having pension funds that are funding genocide. Our councillors need to understand, and they need to stand this time with the innocent people, with the children. They need to have dignity in their investment.
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Your pension is being built on blood money. It is on the money of dead children, on dead doctors, on destroyed hospitals, on corrupt systems. That is not what we should be building our future on. It is unacceptable. And so many of these pension holders have already demanded, have put their name to say, we want divestment. And yet councillors in these councils continue to ignore the voice of the people whose money they oversee. We demand divestment, and we demand that there is a stop to this violence.
The people united!
Will never be defeated!
The people united!
Will never be defeated!
The people united!
Will never be defeated!
Stop killing children! Disinvest now! Oh, divest, okay. Divest now!
Divest now!
Stop killing children!
Divest now!
Stop killing children!
Divest now!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Over to you guys. You have 5 minutes to talk.
So my name is Lisa and I'm from Dorset Divests. You will see in the recent weeks Israel has accepted Hamas's figures of 75,000 killed in Gaza. This is because they believe the number is likely much higher. Counting bodies in a genocide is quite difficult, but even harder when those weapons leave little behind. US-made aerosol bombs have been used to incinerate nearly 3,000 people seeking refuge. These bombs burn at 2,500 degrees. For context, the Twin Towers burned at 1,000 degrees, and a crematorium burns at 800. When Yasmin Mahani went searching for her son, she told reporters, "I went into the mosque and found myself stepping on flesh and blood." The mosque had been filled with hundreds of families seeking shelter. These are facts, yet we're told that speaking about victims is too personal and we need to stick to framework. Let's talk about the framework. Unison, your largest body of member representatives, voted 2 years ago for divestment from Israel and their war crimes. Similar positions have been adopted by all major unions in the UK, including defence unions. Dorset and BCP branches have also adopted this motion. You have failed to the very people whose money you hold. We told you clearly what you wanted and you washed your hands of your responsibility, and then you told us you weren't sure what our opinion was. The framework was simply discarded to suit you. When Russia invaded Ukraine, there was an immediate condemnation, included from councillors in this very room, and immediate divestment. A framework was implemented quickly. It did not stop the war, but it created pressure and it drew a line. Around 600 Ukrainian children have been killed in 5 years. In just 2 years, 30,000 children in Gaza have been murdered. Either the IDF is so incompetent it should not be trusted with a water pistol, or these deaths were no accident. They were a foreseeable outcome of the weapons and tactics being used. Our silence matters. The failure to uphold international law spreads violence further. Children are being killed not just in Gaza, but across the region. How can we claim to stand against tyranny when we continue to support our allies commit these crimes on such a scale? I'll be honest, I lost faith in our so-called system. So last week, when I sat in a presentation about Dorset Council's plans to become an environmental energy hub, for a moment I considered talking about the ecological devastations of war, the burning oil fields, the blackened skies and the poisoned soil. But I've worked in the private and public sector long enough to know environmental concerns live comfortably in policy alone. I know there will be a time when everyone claims that they were always against this. And I intended to end this speech by highlighting the government's failure at every turn to attack Palestinian activists. And when it comes, it will fail to protect this council and this pension from those rightfully seeking justice. But 2 days ago, another family in the West Bank was executed by the IDF. Khalid and Mustafa were the only survivors to share the story of their murdered mother and father and 2 brothers aged 7 and 5 while they were driving home after buying Eid clothes. Khalid used his own body to protect his brother. In his testimony, Khalid describes hearing his mother scream and his father's last prayer. The soldier questioned him, "Who are you with?" And he tells him, "My parents." He shouts, "You're lying." He asks him if his younger brother can go to the toilet, and the soldiers guide him to the side of the car. As Mustafa relieves himself, the soldier opens the car to see the dead bodies of his brother. Khalid asks to the soldier, "Do you love your parents?" And the soldier says, "Yes." He asks him, "Well, why did you kill mine?" The soldier strikes him. I wondered why this story connected with me so much more than so many others, and I realised something. The child was not asking the soldier about his parents, he was asking him something much simpler. The same question we are all asking you. Where is your humanity?
Yeah.
You can argue about process, you can hide behind rules that are bent to suit your convenience, and we will still stand here asking you, where is your humanity?
I do have a question actually.
I'm sorry, there are no questions allowed at this point in time.
I thought I was going to be able to ask questions on all the items on this agenda, where I sit on this committee. That's normal for a committee for me to be able to ask you a question, Chair.
Good afternoon, members. I'm Jonathan, I'm monitoring officer. Just to confirm that under council procedure rules, the rules around deputations don't allow for questions on the deputations.
Okay, I just would like some clarification on the update, Chair. Would I be able to ask some clarification on the update we were given?
If I'm not allowed, the date of that approach is you'll go on from one question on to another into a full-scale debate about the deputation. But I think we can certainly provide clarification outside of the meeting.
No, but judicial duty.
I think you need some women on your committee.
Responsibilities you're breaking.
Yeah, why it's all men?
Yeah, there's only
What are the women?
What are the women? White men, mostly, sorry.
Yeah,
couple of
it's all men.
It's all men, nobody with any humanity here. Or anyone actually acting illegally, folks. It's clear you've been notified on several occasions. You've had to receive local legal notices informing you you're not allowed to invest when you're breaching international law crimes.
There's something called the spirit of the law as well, not just the law.
And why the same procedure wasn't followed when it had something to do with Ukraine and Russia? You have like this long procedure, autumn, winter, more people killed, more money invested in companies that are killing children, that killed 250 babies, children, girls in Iran last week. And when it was for Ukraine and Russia, why? Because they're white?
Yeah.
Is it because they're white? Look at you. You're all white.
We have finished
Look at you. You are white. You finished. We're not finished. We'll never be finished. We're human. We finish when we're dead. But humanity definitely finished ages ago.
Well said.
Yeah, well said.